Once upon a time, there was a peaceful village named Oghuz, surrounded by lush green valleys where birds chirped joyfully. Everyone in this village was friends with one another. The elders protected the young, and the young respected the elders. Right in the middle of the village, under a large walnut tree, lived a leader named Beyrek. Beyrek was both strong and wise. The children loved him dearly because he was skilled at playing games and teaching them new things. The village of Oghuz was like a bridge between ancient traditions and the modern world. The villagers cultivated their lands, harvested vegetables and fruits from the fields, but they also used machines powered by solar energy. The children didn't just read books at school, they learned to build robots and race drones. Beyrek led these innovations. He would tell the children, knowledge is hidden both in our old tales and in new technologies. If we bring them together, we can create wonders. Everything seemed perfect. There was peace in the village, and the people were happy. Under Beyrek's leadership, everyone helped one another and solved problems together. However, the situation was not the same in the nearby village of Oghuz. The people there secretly envied the peace of Oghuz and wished for this harmony to be disrupted one day. One day, some youths from Oghuz made a mocking video about Oghuz and uploaded it to the internet. In the video, they portrayed the people of Oghuz as old-fashioned. The children were deeply saddened when they saw it because they loved technology but also cherished their traditions. To lift their spirits, Beyrek gathered them under the walnut tree. "Don't be sad," he said calmly. "The village of Oghuz has always stood for peace. Such things cannot divert us from our path. Come, let's make a plan together and show our friends in Oghuz how important peace is." That day, the children and adults of the village began thinking about how to find a solution. But there was something no one knew. The young leader of Oghuz, Khan, was making a plan that would complicate things further. And this plan would threaten the peace of Oghuz. The village of Oghuz was located in a valley right next to Oghuz. But the people there had always looked at Oghuz's peaceful life with envy. Their young leader, Khan, particularly disliked the village of Oghuz. Khan was highly intelligent and fascinated by technology. He flew drones, built robots, and even coded his own phone apps. But there was a problem. Khan used these skills not for good, but to overpower others and assert dominance. He envied the people of Oghuz, belittling their unity and happiness. Because his own village lacked such solidarity, he wanted to disrupt Oghuz's happiness. One night, he sat with his friends and devised a plan. "If we disrupt their order, everyone will see that Oghuz is stronger," he said. His friends agreed, but they didn't know how to do it. Khan had a brilliant idea. "We'll use our drones," he said with a grin. "Let's ruin their crops. Let's see how their peaceful village survives such a disaster." That night, Khan and his friends flew their drones. The drones quietly reached Oghuz and began damaging the fields. Tomato plants were uprooted, wheat stalks were cut, and fruit tree branches were broken. When morning came, the villagers were shocked to see their fields. The children were also upset because they played in these fields and gathered food for village festivals. They immediately ran to Beyrek. Beyrek listened carefully to what had happened. One of the children said, "Last night we saw small lights in the sky. I think they were drones." Beyrek nodded in agreement. "This must be the work of Oghuz," he said calmly. But he didn't get angry because he knew acting out of anger wouldn't be right. Beyrek gathered the villagers under the walnut tree and gave a speech. "This attack may have been carried out to disrupt our peace," he said. "But we will never respond with violence, because peace is more valuable than anything. I will talk to Khan and try to resolve this issue. But all of you, children and adults, start repairing our fields. If we work together, they'll soon be as good as new." The villagers immediately got to work. The children gathered the branches, and the adults replanted the seedlings. The village began to revive. But Beyrek felt this incident wouldn't end here. He thought Tarf Khan might have a bigger plan, so he decided to go to Tarf Oghuz and confront Tarf Khan. Beyrek prepared the fastest horse in the village and set off, saying, "Keep working together while I'm away." As the people of Oghuz waved goodbye, the children hoped he would resolve the issue peacefully, but no one knew that Tarf Khan was preparing an even more dangerous plan while waiting for Beyrek. Beyrek had set out for Tarf Oghuz to protect the peace of Oghuz. Riding his horse through sunlit forest paths, he was lost in thought. "I must resolve this issue that's disrupting peace," he muttered to himself. But he didn't know that Tarf Khan had prepared a wicked plan to greet him. Tarf Khan had predicted Beyrek's arrival and set a trap with his friends. They discussed how to portray him as evil to his own villagers. "If we capture Beyrek and neutralize him, the people of Oghuz will lose trust in their leader," Tarf Khan said with a sly smile. One of his friends asked, "But how?" Tarf Khan opened his computer and showed a video editing program. "We'll take his footage and make it look like he's doing things he didn't. With technology on our side, no one will realize it's fake." Tarf Khan had prepared an old village storage room, turning it into a dark chamber for the trap. He planned to bring Beyrek there. His friends used drones to track Beyrek's location. When Beyrek arrived in the village, they invited him to a fake meeting. Tarf Khan pretended to be friendly, saying, "Come, Beyrek, let's resolve this issue through discussion." But his plan was very different. Beyrek, believing in peace, accepted the invitation. However, the storage room where the meeting took place suddenly turned into a locked trap. It was dark inside, with only a computer screen glowing. Tarf Khan secretly recorded Beyrek's footage, altering it to create fake videos. In these videos, Beyrek appeared as a leader who deceived his people and worked for his own interests. Tarf Khan planned to share these videos online to trick the people of Oghuz. Meanwhile, back in Inner Oghuz, everyone was waiting for Beyrek's return, but after a while they realized he had disappeared. The children grew very worried. His closest friend, Oghuz, sprang into action. "Something must have happened to Beyrek," she said determinedly. Using a smart device in the village, she tried to locate where Beyrek was last seen. She discovered he had been tracked by Tarf Khan's drones. Oghuz took her loyal dog Betrayal and set out at night. The people of Oghuz trusted Oghuz because she was brave and clever. With Betrayal's sharp nose, they believed they could find Beyrek's trail. As they moved toward Tarf Khan's storage room, Oghuz also devised a plan. "If Tarf Khan has done something like this, I'll use technology to foil his plans," she thought. Moving through the darkness, they finally found the storage room. But getting inside wouldn't be easy. The doors were locked, and they couldn't tell what was happening inside. But Oghuz didn't give up. She tried to open the door with a small electronic device. Just then, they could hear Tarf Khan's laughter from inside. "My plan is flawless. I'll make everyone turn against Beyrek," he said. Oghuz understood Tarf Khan's grand plan, but would she be quick enough to stop him? Inside, Beyrek waited hopefully against Tarf Khan's scheme. Oghuz and her loyal dog Betrayal were doing their best to dismantle Tarf Khan's trap. It took Oghuz some time to open the storage room door with her electronic device, but finally the lock gave way. When they entered, they found Beyrek tied to a chair. Seeing Oghuz, Beyrek breathed a sigh of relief. "I knew you'd come. With your help, we'll resolve this situation," he said. Tarf Khan and his friends were at the other end of the room, busy with the videos. Just then, Oghuz put her plan into action. Using an app that allowed remote access to Tarf Khan's computer, she began corrupting the video files. Tarf Khan panicked when he noticed something was wrong on the screen. "What's happening here?" he shouted. Oghuz stepped forward bravely. "Tarf Khan, you can't deceive anyone with your tricks. We are a peaceful village, but will never bow to injustice," she said. Betrayal growled, stepping forward and making Tarf Khan retreat in fear. Meanwhile, Beyrek freed himself from the ropes with Oghuz's help. Together, They subdued Tarkan and his friends. But instead of punishing Tarkan, Beyrek spoke calmly. Tarkan, instead of using technology with ill intent, you could use it to help people. Wouldn't you want your village to be as peaceful as ours? At first, Tarkan resisted. But then he realized the magnitude of his mistake. He saw how the children in his own village had suffered from these conflicts. "You're right, Beyrek," he said, bowing his head. "I misused technology and harmed both my village and yours. But I want to make amends." The next day, the people of oguz-tash and oguz-tash gathered for a big meeting. Beyrek explained Tarkan's actions to everyone, but also mentioned his remorse and desire for peace. The people gave Tarkan a second chance. Tarkan promised to do his best to ensure peace. After this incident, a strong friendship formed between the two villages. Tarkan and his friends began using technology for good. They helped repair Oğuz's fields and even started a robotics club for the children. Oghuz and Beyrek took pride in restoring peace and justice to the village. At the end of the story, Beyrek turned to the children and said, "Remember, children, technology is a powerful tool, but how you use it reflects the intentions in your heart. If you use it for good, you can make the whole world a better place." From that day on, the children of oguz and oguz played games together, learned new things, and never let anything break their friendship. Because they all learned one thing very well: peace and unity are always the greatest victory.